All right, so today we have another unbox and build, but this is going to be a fun project. It's going to turn into something a little bit unusual. You'll have to stick around till the end to see what that is, but small little box, Freewing, picked up from Motion RC. Let's get into the box. Let's see what this is all about. All right, so here we have it. We've got a beautiful, brand new A-18 Super Hornet. This is a beautiful little plane. This is the Royal Maces version, and we picked this up again at Motion RC. Cost us $129. We tried to get the upgraded version, which they have actually on the same page. Includes a 40 amp ESC. This only has a 30. And I believe it now has a 12 blade EDF on the bigger version, which, you know, this has probably got a lesser, maybe it's only a 5 blade, we'll see. But, you know, they were sold out. I kind of had a hankering to do a build, a project, and kind of have some fun here at the end. So I said, all right, well, I know I'm going to be working on this plane anyways. It's all right, I'm going to go for the lower performance model. So that's what this is, and let's go ahead and get into the box, and we can kind of check what this is all about. You know, it would have been nice to have that nicer version. However, you know, 4-cell batteries versus 3-cell, you know, there's a bit of a price difference there. And, you know, all said, this is a great introductory price into the world of EDF jets. Wow. You know, we always talk about that presentation and packaging being important on, you know, determining the quality of the plane. That does not disappoint. Manual, self-ejecting. Kind of like a lot of cockpits I've seen. So, beautiful plane. It's, of course, Motion RC. They don't make crap with their Freewing line, and I've been very impressed. So, yeah, let's get into this box. We've got a few little cubbies here, and boy, just parts all over. All right, so this is interesting. So we'll start off with this. We've got a parts bag, and from doing other builds, I recognize that these are the wingtip pylons for adding ordnance. They have a nice carbon fiber spar running through them. We have the nose cone in here, but I also see it looks like the tips to our outlets on our jet engines on the back. That's kind of unusual. I've never seen a model I've had to glue those onto. So that's an interesting bit right out of the gate. Another bag we've got here. Looks like we've got glue, King BXer. We'll stick with our foam tack. Control rods and screws, very nice. Again, manual, self-ejected. Let's grab another bag. All right, so this is nice. Oh, this is really nice, interesting. We got our landing gears. This front gear actually has the servo built into it. Kind of cool, I haven't ever seen that before. Nice little modular piece. Now, I love taking and finding these little unique widgets that really are nice and frankenplaning other things together with them. And boy, I tell you, that'll get the you know, neurons firing on some new ideas real quick. Interesting. And with what we're going to do this plane, doubly interesting. Okay, all right. What else have we got hiding down here? Looks like we've got more exhaust tips. Interesting. Maybe a couple configuration options? I don't know. We'll have to get into this. All right. And we'll start cutting out our foam supports. Get a bunch of these out of the way for us. All right. And, oh, beautiful tail. All right. 2 tail pieces. Interesting, nice little piece of that foam there, keeping them from rubbing against each other. Boy, those are gorgeous. The graphics are great on these. I'm very impressed. And just a nice solid piece. Now these do not, for this price point, again, $129, have rudders with servos installed. You know, most planes will even give you a little knockout. This doesn't even have that. So looks like we're going to be fixed on our rudders. That's all right, nothing wrong with that. These planes tend to fly wonderfully without that. Wow, beautiful little wing. Okay, now first thing I notice, no flaps. We've got our servos pre-installed and mechanical hinges. Nice, looks like nylon hinges. We've got a carbon fiber rod installed as well. Graphics are pretty plain, just a couple little guys there, but good looking wing half. Let's go ahead and pull the other one. Looks like we've got a carbon fiber spar here as well. Sure do. Good looking. And oh, hiding under these, what have we got here? Now this is interesting. This is kind of stuck. Okay, so that's our elevators, and the servo horns are actually embedded into the foam. That's a little nerve-wracking. I mean, you know, if there's something that's going to break during shipping, I would say it's that. Oh yeah, the hole goes all the way through the box. You know, luckily this is in good shape. Let's check out our other one. Yeah, horn's in good shape on this as well. Now these are the pivot style, it looks like, so there'll be a pivot point that this moves off of. Good looking little elevator there. All right, good width on that too, and that width matters for well, later. Looks like the last thing I see here is the fuselage. Let's pull this thing out. Come on now. Oh yeah, beautiful little fuselage. Look at that. That is fantastic. Looks like we've got our places to install our gears on this. And looks like we got some covers for the other set. USS Kitty Hawk, huh? All right, decent graphics on this. I'm pretty happy with that. You know, let's go ahead and see if we can pop open some compartments here. Looks like we've got our battery set up right there. Very nice. The interesting thing with this plane I'm seeing right off the bat is that this centerpiece is what's removable. It's not the actual cockpit. And that is something I have not seen before, so that's pretty slick. Boy, very lightweight. It's got a lot of heft. Looks like there's your CG on it, more or less. So a little bit tail heavy on the fuse, but you know, that's not a big deal. And yeah, it looks like we glued those pieces in here for our exhaust, and we do have a 5-blade EDF prop on this. Very good looking plane, and golly, can't kind of wait to get this thing put together. So let's go ahead and we'll jump ahead into the time lapse, get some of the stuff unbagged and start putting our stuff together, and well, let's get the build done and we can talk about what we see and what we think. here we have it. Our build is done, and I gotta be honest, this is a gorgeous plane. It came together a little bit better than I thought. In fact, the only tool I really needed was a Phillips screwdriver to put this thing together. And boy, you know, every plane has its quirk, but I found it irritating. I had to actually go and find a piece of push rod, bend a hook to fish the servo leads up from clear up here all the way down into this little hatchway so that I could connect it to the radio. But other than that, God, it went together like a dream. Kind of excited to do this thrust check. Let's see what kind of power this thing has. Now, again, this is the 3-cell version of the plane, and yeah, we'll just hold on right here. Here we go. Wow. Wow, that's got a lot more power than I thought. It just wants to go. Wow. All right, well, you know, I'm not feeling so bad about not getting that high performance model because I think this has ample power to have at least some fun with. 129 bucks, boy, hard to beat. There we go. Make sure that throttle cuts on. Hard to beat, you know, as maybe a first-time jet. Maybe you're, you know, just interested in collecting these, you know, getting these different models. But my gosh, what a good price! Great build quality. The only other quibble I have, and they're small, they're really small, but I ended up taking and putting these pilings on the ends of the wingtips, and boy, you got this big ugly gouge there that has the carbon fiber rod hidden in it. Just could have been dressed up a little bit more. I'm sure that it's meant to have ordnance to slap on there, but I just don't feel like spending another $40 on this plane just to get some bolt-on fake, you know, weapons. It doesn't do it for me. Yeah, let's go through some of the other features of this plane. First and foremost, we actually have a pilot that looks like a pilot. Really quite good. No weird ninjas and cowboys and stuff. Great looking pilot. We even have a nice little instrument dash there, decal that they put on, and I really appreciate things like that. You know, an oddity that I found, this is the only EDF jet ever that we have built that didn't have a magnetically snap-on and removable nose cone. I actually had to glue this on permanently. I thought that was really weird. Now we use foam tack because, well, it stays a little bit, you know, flexible. It's easier than most other glues to remove when you do a repair, so I foam tacked that on and it went just fine. Not sure that that's a big deal. We've never really lost or damaged nose cones on other planes now that I think about it, but just thought that was unusual that they veered away with what seemed like the standard there. We're running a 2200 Gens Ace 3-cell battery, and I'll tell you, that little hatch latch, I love that kind of feature in these planes. Beautiful little plane, and for now we're just using a little orange receiver. Nothing fancy and expensive because, well, we have other plans for this plane. We'll get to those. You know, gluing together the exhaust tips here for our engines wasn't a big deal. It was odd that it wasn't a single piece or something to that effect, but, you know, not bad. You know, I'd like to argue that, oh, well, they came with separate pieces because of the two-tone paint job there. But, well, we have a two-tone paint job up on the nose and a piece of plastic installed on the tip too, and you know, they obviously could have put the little extra effort in there, but it's not the end of the world to me. Again, no active rudder surfaces on this plane, and if we flip it over, we can see those fixed landing gears, and you know, they installed really easy. Again, other than fishing the wire, but you know, super easy to install. You know, one thing that did surprise me that I didn't notice before was this huge hole here for the airflow inlet, specifically for the EDF, and apparently our two little ducts up front aren't enough, and so that's why that's there. This is maybe a little ungainly looking, but again, for a $129 plane, how can you go wrong? Overall, what a gorgeous plane. Now, the fun part about this plane is, well, I have to do something to it that I've wanted to do for a long time. And a lot of you are gonna cringe when I say this. Just keep the hate mail to a minimum, please. Because it is a beautiful plane. So one of the things I've wanted to do for a while, and I enjoy doing from time to time, is punctate a little bit. And in doing so, I know his most hated plane, the one he dislikes the most, is the Twin Mustang. He just doesn't like the plane. All right, not a big deal, but I've never seen any form of a twin jet fighter. There's a couple twin jets that are out there. I mean, the new Stratolauncher from, SpaceX or whatever it is an option. But we're going to take and we're going to Frankenplane a couple of these Hornets together. That's why we have two boxes hiding back here. And we're going to make a twin Hornet. That's right, first ever twin jet fighter. I have hunted and scoured the web for anyone even doing this with our seaplanes. I haven't seen it, so who knows? Maybe this will be an internet first. You never know, but lots of creative minds are out there, and this is going to be kind of fun to do. So the goal is to half our wing, graft another plane onto it, use some carbon fiber. We're even going to use some other parts from other planes here to connect the rear end and our rear control surfaces. So gonna be kind of a fun project. Stick around, we'll see that and the maiden of that flight next time that we go out to the field. But sadly, this isn't gonna maiden in its current form. So again, $129 plane. Is it worth taking a gamble on? Well, yeah. I mean, it's, from Motion RC, it's a free wing plane, it's a beautiful build quality, and all of the other planes that have been in this line and price bracket have been fantastic flyers. So I don't doubt that this will perform just as well. We're just going to take ours and do a little bit different approach with it. So, so there we have it. There's our F-18 Hornet. This is again the Royal Maces version, $129, Motion RC. We're not sponsored to go ooh and ah in any way, shape, or form. This plane just deserves it, so I hope you check it out. Until next time, keep flying.